Ah. Oh. Who knows why the fuck that was on mute and why that's even a fucking thing? Why there's a secondary mute inside the mute? Like, who fucking knows? But it was there. It's been figured out. There it is, 100% of total volume. That's probably too much. I'm probably too loud. I probably have to turn that shit down a little bit there. There we go. There we go. Probably a little bit better. Okay. Problem solved. I'm an idiot. There we go. Problem solved. I'm an idiot. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. We are officially in there. We're in here. 32 fucking minutes later, we finally figured out how to fucking get the voice to start working. So now you can hear the idiot who couldn't figure out how to get, you know, his audio working. Congratulations. This is episode 2. Probably shouldn't say this. And, you know, probably a lot of shit people shouldn't say, but you know, fuck it, you know, it's where we are now. So despite the fact that, you know, we spent the last 30 minutes struggling to get the audio up, but you know, I don't think that was by accident. You know, I feel like they try to make that shit as difficult as possible in order to get your voice heard. You know what I mean? It's just like they're out there really trying to silence you by any means possible, even if it means setting up a second mute button. Who would have thought? But I do agree that a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people, that was close. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful what you say nowadays. All right. Sure, you have the freedom to say it. But that does not give you, you know, doesn't make it quite a good idea. You know what I mean? Because I sometimes sure as hell don't. Because I just be saying the first thing that comes to my fucking mind half the time. By half the time, I mean like 90% of the time. Let's see if we can't make this a little brighter for you guys. Because I can't barely see shit. So if I can't see nothing, that means you guys really can't see nothing. That wasn't creepy. There we go. Let's go up into this camera. There we go. There we go. Salutations, Starshines. Dear says hello. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way. Yeah. So we're in here. We're gonna be doing this. I'm gonna try to get up in here and talk every day. What about who fucking knows?
What I'm talking about might save your life someday, okay? Okay, Mr. Maggie, okay.
All right. Let's see here. So I feel like I gotta get a little bit of inspiration. I feel like I gotta scroll and see something stupid on the internet real quick before I can give you a real diagnosis on like what the fuck is this shit. You know what I mean? Because you know there's gonna be something stupid as soon as I open this thing up. There's always something stupid. Ah, that's sweet. Wow. All right, yeah. First thing pops up, bunch of ads, bit more ads. There's a lot of fucking ads. There's so many fucking ads. And you know what's crazy is like they'll make ads based off of the shit that you like. So, like for example, as you've heard just now, I obviously enjoy watching South Park, and so I have this ad here from Dave Asprey. I don't fucking follow Dave Asprey, but Dave Asprey obviously spent money in order to have advertisements pushed on me because I watch South Park. So, it's Lloyd Banker Injury Attorneys have proven a record of success helping victims of negligence recover in the, I'm assuming, finance industry or something. But yeah, they used South Park in order to advertise it to me. They got this other one. It's a video game that's being advertised to me, but it's not the video game that I play. You know what I mean? It's a video game that is similar to the video game that I play, and because they have a skin available for the video game that I play, they're pushing the ad on me. So, also, Dave, my bad. I didn't mean to like put you on fucking blast like that, but I'm 98% sure you're probably not even. And so far nothing. It's just ads. It's just ads. So I guess that's what we're gonna be talking about today is advertisements. I'm pretty sure that the freaking episode was supposed to be on today anyways. Talking about how we're pretty much just walking cash pigs for these motherfuckers. I forgot. We gotta get we're getting that slang thrown up in there. Them motherfuckers, and by them motherfuckers, of course, we talk about the people that enjoy perpetuating evil, whatever face or mask or role they may take, because evil takes on many faces, as they say. I don't say, you know. I mean, I know I just said it, but I mean, it's not my saying. I just heard it once and it sounded really cool. What's my name? So I have a hard time doing this. Not because of you guys. Trust me. I give two shits who I'm talking to. You know what I mean? Like really, I can really not care less. But no, I have a hard time. Oh yeah. I had to look at the name of the episode. I kind of come up with them really kind of quick on the fly, and I'm smoking, I'm drinking, so sometimes I don't always remember. Point exact, right there. I just forgot what I was talking about. But that's the point. That's that right there. That's not abnormal right there. What just happened? Me forgetting what the fuck I was just talking about 0.2 seconds ago because I clicked from one tab to another tab on my screen. That's the game. That's the game they like to play. They like to put them motherfuckers like to play this game. And this is what them motherfuckers like to do. Them motherfuckers like to get these algorithms running, right? And they get everybody obsessed on these algorithms. The algorithm. Oh my gosh, you have to be so obsessed with the algorithm, right? Even if you're making content, me, I'm supposed to be worried about the algorithm. So here's something crazy, all right? I would love for anybody to pop this up. Maybe your guys's algorithm shows something different, but my algorithm, when I type in solo podcast, right? I type in solo podcasting. That's all I type in, solo podcast. And you would think that it would, like, the algorithm would pull up all of the podcasters who are like doing podcasting by themselves. So that way, you can be like, okay, this is, all right, let's see what this motherfucker has to talk about, right? But no, it'll be how to tips and tricks, how to Theo Vaughn, how to tips and trick, how to music video, how to Theo Vaughn, and it's just like, so it's just like, and this is not a fucking slap on Theo or nothing like that, all right? Because I fuck with the shit, you know what I mean? Like, I've only seen like two or three, so I can't really say anything really, but like, I mean, like, the ones that I did see, he asked some he's starting to ask good questions. He's starting to get down the line of asking the right kind of questions that you should be asking all the fucking time. Right? So good on that, right? That's great. That's shit that you want to see. What you don't want to see is, people sitting there telling you what not to think about and what you should be afraid of. If people are telling you what you should be afraid of and what you shouldn't be talking about and what you shouldn't be thinking about and what isn't a good idea because, they think this and they feel that, though, them motherfuckers is probably trying to get you to think something that you shouldn't be thinking, right? Because you're already on the right track. You're probably already on the right track with some thoughts. So if you're asking questions and you're wondering and you're like, you know what? That shit don't make no fucking sense. Like, hold on here. Let me just run my head back real quick and use my fucking power of logic and critical thinking. I know that they don't give that out anymore. I know that critical thinking, there should be a class. I don't know why there isn't a class in like elementary school called critical thinking where you are sat down in a room for 60 minutes and you're put into situations that require you to use your fucking head. You know what I mean? Because that's not what school does anymore. It's not what school's ever done. That's not what school was ever for. What school was for is for you to sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, wait for teacher in your desk, raise your hand. I know the answer. Raise your hand. Can I take a shit? Raise your hand. Can I take a piss? Raise your hand. I know the answer. That's all you're fucking supposed to do. Don't speak unless fucking spoken to, and ask a question before you take shit. You know what I mean? Like, and now look at it. People always are asking, what should I do before I do anything, right? And me included. You know what I mean? I'm always fucking sitting here wondering, like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing in my life? What am I supposed to be doing? What do we do? We see all this horrible stuff going on, and what are we gonna do about it? You know what I mean? It's just like, because, all right, so it's like dieting, right? I I try to stay in shape. I try to eat good, but like, the only thing that seems honest to me anymore is junk food, because at least the names it says junk right up in it. You know what I mean? So when I go into the junk food aisle, I know that I'm eating absolute garbage and I feel safe knowing that I'm eating some pure fucking shit. But when I go into the healthy food aisle, I expect it to be like good for me. I don't want to be having to sit there and look through the ingredient list and fucking finding how many fucking biochemical fucking engineered bullshits are all up in that shit. I don't want to have to sit there and wonder, I wonder if this company that is producing these chickens is getting their chickens from a geneticist company that is just genetically engineering these chickens in vats and then selling them off at fucking large proportions. You know what I mean? So I don't have to think about that. I don't want to think about whether or not my turkey has had a fucking chlorine bath or not, because I don't like chlorine. I don't get into the pool because I know that, for one, it's fucking filthy and disgusting and everybody's taking a piss in that shit. All right. For two, it's chlorine. It's fucking poison. It's a chemical that burns your skin. Like, why would you dip in your ass? Why do you dip your ass in that? I mean, I'd go to the fucking ocean, right? I'd go freeze my nuts off in the fucking ocean water and go do that. That's way better, honestly. It's way better. And honestly, there's a feeling you get when you're in the ocean that you can't get in a pool. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like a natural thing. You know what I mean? I feel like there's something there's something unnatural about everything that we do as humans. You know what I mean? Super unnatural, but everything we do as humans. I know, I fucking ranted, I rambled. I don't even, once again, I forgot what I was even supposed to be talking about on this episode. Terms, oh, I'm right on fucking schedule. Okay, all right. The way we live now, the way we exist now, the way we operate now, the way we run things now, we've only been doing for like what, 1-2% of all human existence. The rest of that time we were like hunting and gathering, picking up sticks and shit like that. You know, I don't I don't know when it started. Nobody knows when it starts. I feel like that's not true though. I feel like that's a bit of a contradiction. I don't know how it is that like we see like I see these conspiracy theories about like the Rothschilds and shit like that, and all those crazy people and everything, and I sit there and wonder, okay, all right, let's say that's all true. Right? Let's just put ourselves in a hypothetical bubble here. Right? Well, let's say that's true. Let's say that there is a family that's been doing this for like a long ass time, right? And so, like, when we say we don't know, who's we? Because, like, like I always wonder about that too. There's always the we and them and they, and I know I was just saying them motherfuckers. I know, but I'm also a little bit right now. So I'm just running down the thought processes. So I have to think about it though. It's just like, so who came up with that? Like, right? Like, who came up with the concept of, there's an us and a them, and there's a group of people who are trying to do, horrible things. Um, and I think about that a lot. Right? I mean, because like, what if that's a psyop? Right? You have to think, because, and it sucks. It sucks that you have to do that all the time now. You have to be thinking like, okay, is this a psyop? Is this a psyop? Is this something that's going to be trying to trick me into buying something? Is this something that's tricking me into selling something? Is this something that's trying to just absorb my time and my life source? Like, who knows, right? We don't know. So with damn, man, that's what happens when you scroll too much. When you scroll too much, your attention span goes. And see, I free ball. I don't got no script. I don't got. I try. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'll sit there and fucking, I'll be trying to sit there and figure out what the, all day today, all day yesterday, all month last month. I sit there and I'm just like, what the fuck am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna say? What am I gonna do? Like, for real, like what, like for real, like what am I gonna talk about? And it's just like I don't want to just sit here and just like fucking doom spiral, because like the fucking end of the world is inevitable or something like that. But sometimes it does feel like the end of the world is kind of inevitable. But I don't think that that would be the best line of thinking, right? That wouldn't be the best line of thinking. A better line of thinking would be like, okay, yeah, we're definitely on track for the end of the world. How do we undo it? If that's the case, right? If things are getting so bad, right? And I feel like things are kind of getting bad. I think things are getting really, really, really bad. You know what I mean? Like, way worse than like people think things are getting, right. And, you got people getting assassinated and executed on Twitter. And I know it's not the first time you've been watching that, but it's just like it's gotten to the point where it's normalized to now it's just like every other week. You're getting people popped up and everything like that. It's to the point where like you can literally like I didn't think that Twitter would come to the point where it was, like essentially like
Like, that's where you go to like look at stuff like that. Like I knew it was wild. Like everybody knows Twitter was always wild, but like to think that Twitter's like that now, and it's not only like that, but it's like that, and like it's like super, super, super political. Everybody's super political. Everybody's super polarized, right? But it's just like they're polarized not on like real deep value. Like I don't know what people are really polarized on. Like I feel like people are just hot because like somebody says something, like because names, because of people, like because of like groups, like social groups, you know what I mean? It's just like which one, like who are you following on your social media type thing in a positive and or negative manner type thing. Like I feel like it's at that point now. It's not like everybody still wants safety and security and a sense of like worth when they're working, you know, and whatnot, like some dignity and some pride and something to like like work up towards and then like live off of, like everybody wants that, the American dream. At least most of the people that I've talked to, a couple of people that now I've talked to a lot of people, and there are some people out there who will absolutely enjoy those things, but at the same time also prefer absolute pure anarchy. So they're like, fuck it. So, but then, that's also like the way of the world, it's just like with what most people forget, and this one I can say most people, right? Most people forget that we're all one experience. Like not experience, like consciousness would be a better word. We're like our aware state, like so you're sitting there, right? You're in your chair or you're in your car or you're on the toilet taking a shit or on the couch scrolling, who knows, right? Like you're doing your thing and you're watching this video right now, right? Everybody else in the world, right, that you've ever looked at, that you ever seen, that you ever like brushed upon, shook in the hand of, introduced yourself to, punched in the face, made out with, had a child with, whatever, right? Doesn't matter what it is. We're all experiencing each other's consciousness individually. So I'll live my life through my life, and then I'll live my life through the next Joe's life, and the next Joe's life, so on and so forth, of everybody who is existing right now and every other time in all of history. And that's what we all do. We're all just going through it over and fucking over and 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 over again until we go through all of it, until it all gets gone through. And the reason why we're doing this is because I'm pretty sure it's just one of us right now left. Like, because like you have to remember, like you ever see you ever hear about that concept of like when you pass away, like you see your entire life before your eyes type thing. So it's sort of like that, right? So, but kind of like in reverse, like you see your entire life, like you could see infinitely forward and infinitely backward presently. However, our physical beings, this meat bag body, right? Because everything you experience is really right here in your head. Everything that's going on with you is in your head, right? Flick your hand, right? You feel it in your hand, right? Yeah, you feel it in your hand? No, it's not. It's in your brain. It's in your head. Your head is telling you that something is happening to your hand. The impulses that are lightning fast going through your freaking body, they're signals telling your hand, hey, something's happening there, right? That's why, like, you know, that's why if you were to lose your hand, right, and then somebody were to start going like that, your brain would tell you that somebody's tapping your hand. It's called phantom pain, right? You know, or that, you know, that type of shit. Or like if you have like an amputated leg and you still feel the pain of your leg when it's not there anymore, it's because your brain is telling you that your leg hurts, but you're like, I don't have a fucking leg. So why does it hurt? Why does it itch? You know what I mean? That's just like that's what that is. So you have to remember. You have to remember that everything that you feel, everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you smell, that you taste, that you touch, that you experience, all this shit, it's happening in your brain. It's happening in your head. It's all in your head, right? Even the things that you're seeing, all right, are just shadows, just figments of your imaginations, machinations of the mind, right? Right, right. So you have to remember that what you're seeing is light being captured into your retina and then reflected back. So this isn't really what a microphone looks like. I mean, this is what, you know, our brain perceives a microphone to be from what our understanding is, but you know, like, nobody really knows what the fuck that thing looks like. Nobody can actually really capture it, you know what I mean? And I think that that stuff starts going into like some quantum shit, you know what I mean, when you really think about it, because it's like, if you're looking at something, right, how do you know that that's its true form? Because you're observing it. It's the same thing with like the double slit experiment, right? When you're looking at shit and you know the light comes through it, the particles are parting through the slit, and you know they expect it to do one thing, but it does something completely different because they're looking at it. But when they remove the observation thing, then it does something completely different. They're like, how the fuck is that even possible? So we have no idea what goes on with this shit when we come out of the room because, well, like, even if you were to record it, the recording device would be the observation. So it would still be seeing it. So, like, it's still being seen. So we actually have no idea whether or not, like, it's Schrodinger's box. Once you, like, walk out of a door and close it, you have no idea what's on the other side. Your brain reconceptualizes what's on the other side when you open the door. That's why sometimes shit will be in like a little bit of a different place than it was last time. Or maybe I just smoke a lot of weed and, you know, my girlfriend comes up in here and moves shit around. She comes in here while I'm sleeping because that happens all the time. It could also be that fucking shadow monster right there on the couch because he's always getting into some shit. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't fucking know. I really don't. Like, but it baffles my brain all the time. I think about it all the time. Yeah, a lot of shit all the time. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know why I put the title names, but why I chose those names for the title. Like, I feel like that's really misleading, and I apologize. Now that the moment of silence is done, no, I had to pause because there's like a thumping sound, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. It's like a it's like a thump and a shuffle. I mean, tell me if y'all can hear that or not. I don't know what And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call thin walls. Thin wall. You know, I definitely I want to say this. I'm a realist. Okay. I only I, I don't believe shit. Like when I say I believe something, it's usually because like I'm not usually sure, but there's like a strong feeling in my stomach that leans towards something type thing, you know what I mean? But there's things that I believe, there's things that I know, and then there's things that I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't know a lot, right? But based off of the things that I know, it gives me a good hunch on some of the things that I'm not entirely sure of, the things that I kind of hunching on, you know what I mean? Things are not things are gonna get bad. Okay, there, I said it. Things are gonna get better. All right. I know a lot of people are, popping down 2026. Oh my goodness, new year, new me. Same thing that everybody says every year. But in all reality, no, I mean this year is gonna be rough, just to say in the least. It's gonna be a rough one. Um, I mean, it was fun, right? I mean, we had a good time, but now, now it's time to really start like, all right, thinking like, okay, like, what do I believe in? You know what I mean? Like, like, what do I really care about? Like, what is it that I'm gonna be like? Okay, I need to get up and do something about that. Okay, like, you know what I mean? Because I mean, I feel like I feel like there's a lot of changes. I feel like there's a lot of changes that can be made in order to, have a little bit more transparency. I do definitely think about a lot of, you know, of course I consider national security and whatnot, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, it's like I feel like whatever game these guys are playing, like, isn't it a little much? I just think, like, I mean, I I thought we already did all this back in the 40s. You know, what I mean, I thought we went through all this, and it wasn't fun. Everybody was scared. A lot of people were dying. I mean, sure, yeah, a lot of people made a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of money to be making in that business, but like, I mean, do we really want to go through that again? Like, is there really no other alternatives? You know what I mean? Like I feel like humans could be a little bit more progressive than that. I feel like I don't think that we came all this way to make the iPhone so that way we can you know you know unalive ourselves to dust. I mean, I feel like this could be one of those
this could be one of those moments where humanity can like do something like different, you know what I mean? Like, and when I say different, I mean like really different, you know what I mean? Like we could try some accountability, you know what I mean? Like maybe do like an like I can't say amnesty because I feel like amnesty, but maybe that's the best way to put it. Maybe amnesty per diem or some shit like that. I don't know, like a per diem amnesty. Like yeah, like we're not going to do any of the evil horrendous stuff that you guys did, but 1,000,000% you guys are all going to have to go through like due process or something, you know what I mean? There's got to be like some sort of like if they want a parade, we can give them a parade them through the streets so that way we can be like, look at these are the guys and ladies and and groups and ideas and thought processes and energies and motivations, you know what I mean? It's just like because I don't know who these people are, like, I'm sure that there's people that get named. I don't I don't look for names, I like to look for the patterns and just recognize and understand that they're there and they exist. I feel like the name stuff that's more for people who like to look into name stuff. There's names people out there. That's not my job. My job's not to do that. My job's just to be like, hey, if you didn't know, now you know. Like that idea that we got fed when we were kids, it's a peaceful land and everybody's all happy and cheerful, and then it's a dark, stormy, cloudy night, and the bad guy comes out and invades, and he pillages and destroys everything, and then the hero rises up, and then he defeats the evil, and then everybody's saved, and everything goes into a land of peace and prosperity. All right. That's always what they want you to be like, yes, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. But it's just like, that's not what's happening. That's not what happened. I mean, if that's happening, right? Because you got to remember that, like we all think we're the good guy. All right. I think I'm the good guy. You think you're the good guy. This one's a good guy. He's a good guy. Look at him. He's a stubborn guy. He's a stubborn guy. But that's good. But that's good to be stubborn. It's good to be stubborn, huh, boy? Yeah, he likes to plant his paws next to that river of truth, or that, and by the under the tree of justice, and he's like, no, give me a bone. Huh? Who wants that bone? He loves that bone. No, but I mean, clearly there's bad guys out there. Nobody's arguing that. Nobody's ever once argued who the bad guys are, right? And we know that there are people that benefit from that. There are people that benefit from that take advantage of that. That there's some bad people out there. Worse people take advantage of bad people. You know, yeah, there's bad people out there. There's horrible people out there. There's fucking evil people out there. But that's why you have to be extra careful. You know what I mean? That's why you got to be extra careful because you got to make sure that you're not. Yeah, make sure you're not giving all your power up to one of the evil ones. You know what I mean? Because well, I mean, I came to this conclusion years ago, And when I got confirmation, I mean, I still kind of grip with it. I kind of grip with or struggle gripping. You know what I mean? I have a hard time with it of accepting the fact that you know, like now when I say we, I know we're not the bad guys. We're not the bad guys, but we're the bad guys. You know what I mean? We're not the good guys. We're not the good guys in the story. We're not the heroes. We're not the ones that are crawling out the rubble and being like, we gotta fix this. We're the ones that came in on the cloudy day. We've been coming in on a cloudy day. You know, and I don't know. I just thought we were better. I thought we were better. Thought we did things differently as people, as civilized men. You know, I thought we were better as civilized men. You know, a lot of these guys, they look the look. You know, you got the suits, you got the ties. You know, you got the big fancy speeches. But deep down, that's civilization right there. Civilization is quotas and profit margins. That's all it ever has been. That's all it ever will be. Is quotas and profit margins. You know. You know what rebellion is, right? Rebellion is people that are fighting against, you know, something wrong that they feel is being done to them. Something about them is being attacked, oppressed, denied, refused, rejected, you know, infringed upon, apprehended, you know, confiscated. Pick a word for it. Pick a word. Because the word and the emotion usually aren't the same thing. You know what I mean? That's why AI is so important. You understand? You wanna know why they want you to get on these LLMs so bad? Why they want everybody to be so obsessed with these LLMs? Because LLMs have no emotion, just like bureaucracy. There's no emotion in it. It's cut and dry. That's what the fuck it is. There's no feeling to it. It's cold. It's dead. There's no originality to it. It's just predetermined based on pattern. For them, I mean, for them motherfuckers, that's perfect. Perfect. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what they want. They want things cold, cut, calculated with no emotion. You ever notice how the most emotional motherfuckers are usually the ones that are
Takes a lot of emotion to give a shit. Takes a lot of emotion to give a shit. A lot of emotion. You know what I mean? Like to be like, hey, no, like, hold on, let me express something. You have to really fucking care. Because if you don't, are you really gonna say anything? No. You're like, I don't say nothing about that. I ain't saying nothing. You say nothing? I ain't saying nothing. You know, like you wouldn't say nothing. You say shit because you give a shit. You're like, wait, hold on, wait a second. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine everybody sitting around playing? Like, go to your family's house, right? Play Monopoly, and nobody saying anything about anybody breaking the rules, right? Can you imagine? And we can't get through a round before making sure everybody we're like, wait, hold on, what did your dice say? How many? Where did you land at? Bull fucking shit. I'm pretty sure you weren't on Venture Avenue. There ain't no fucking way you're on Venture Avenue. No way. Your ass was on that fucking railroad, and I know it. I knew you were on that fucking railroad. You know what I mean? Like, you're on that. You're on that shit. You don't let that shit go by. You don't let them cheat. But in real world, that's the game. The game is how fucking ruthless can you cheat and get away with it? How ruthless can you do it? How many people can how many people can I get into the office today before I take off? You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're like, how big can I get my insurance claim on these buildings? Like, well, let's see if we can or not. You know what I mean? Like, how many people get a buyout for that thing? I was thinking about it. I probably shouldn't say anything about stuff like that because I feel like, what am I gonna say that anybody else doesn't already fucking think? What am I gonna say that nobody doesn't think? I'm just saying what people are thinking, and if you're not thinking it, I'm just like, what are you thinking? Like, what dinner is? Like, I'm thinking I know what's for dinner. And it's not pretty. But, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, I could be like ridiculously wrong. And I mean, who knows? This could actually be a super huge, elaborate plan on saving humanity and every living, breathing soul on the planet. You know what I mean? That could be the real plan. The real plan could be to end the resource crisis. You know what I mean? The real plan could be to fucking, create stable nuclear fusion. You know what I mean? The real plan can be to create freaking hospitable, multi planetary colonization and not do so because you're not willing to actually put in the effort to fix the planet that you're living on, but because you want a planet to live on and then another planet to build and grow on and to live on, because eventually, yes, this planet is going to die, but I'm pretty sure that if we're really fucking smart about it, which we are, we're the smartest things in the universe. We're so smart. We're so smart, everybody. We're probably some of the smartest people that have ever existed. I mean, we've got billions and billions and billions of people all around the planet, and they're working their asses off, and they're doing science, and some of them are doing math, and it's absolutely huge. It's gonna be wonderful, everybody. And we're so smart. You know what I mean? We're so fucking smart. We got our computers doing our creativity for us. Like, we don't have to be smart anymore. We got smart computers for that. Like, that's how smart we are, right? We're so smart. But we can't figure out how to stop killing ourselves. We, we can't figure out how to stop poisoning ourselves. Oops. We can't figure out how to stop sitting here and graping ourselves. Oops. You know what I mean? We can't sit here and stop, like freaking, selling ourselves out to other people that want to do those things. Like, if people want to do those things, sure, yeah, go do those things. And not here on this planet where obviously people want to do not that. You know what I mean? There's a lot, because I bet you if we all gathered up in a room, everybody got a vote. Everybody gets one. Hey, everybody gets one, right? I'm pretty sure everybody in the room is going to raise their hand and be like, "Okay, yeah, let's all kill each other," right? Yeah, no, that's probably not what the mission is, right? I'm pretty sure some people will be like, can we fornicate instead? Can we fornicate and plant some seeds instead? You know what I mean? Like, that sounds way better. You know what I mean? Let's plant some seeds in all types of ways. You know what I mean? Let's plant all the seeds we can. And I'm not just talking about, like, Monsanto seeds. I'm talking about all the seeds. I'm talking about the good seeds. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about herbs. I'm talking about, like, medicine, things that are like holistic, I mean, like, if it's so freaking bad, if it's so bad, if it's so horrible, right? Pharmaceutical crap is so great. The petrochemicals are so grand. Why didn't we do them sooner? Why didn't we try to build some? What, like, you're telling me that my ancestral freaking origins, right? Because we got to think about this for a second now. All right, now let's be serious here, because all right, like, we don't want to sound like a bunch of jackasses. All right, so we're gonna go back, all right, 12,000 years ago, right? Enda Younger Dryas, right? Göbekli Tepe. This is anatomically modern humans. These are humans that, if you had a time machine and brought them back an iPhone and told them how it worked, they would know how it worked. They would be like, "Oh shit, this is pretty. You know what we can do with one of these things? Like, why are we building these huge? So we could do some work with this. Like, they would figure it out. They're anatomically modern. They're the same as us, because we haven't really changed much lately, right? Apparently, according to science, we don't know why, but after Homo sapiens, it was just like, this is it. We're at the top. We're the peak. We don't need to evolve anymore. What else is there? We're Homo sapiens, no homo. All right, all right. Like, that's where we're at right now. We're at the peak. We're at the peak of of evolution. Doesn't get any better than us. No, nothing created us. We just have that that spliced chromosome. We don't know what it's for. We don't know who merged them together. We don't know when or why. We do know a couple of our other ancestors also have that merged chromosome, going back to Homo heidelbergensis. So that's what, Homo neanderthalis, Homo denisovans, so Homo florensis, so we got a couple, we got a couple of homos up in here, and they all got this spliced gene, but, apparently nobody knows nothing about it. All right. We don't know. We know what a mammoth was eating 10,000 years ago, but we don't know what was going on with their genes. Okay, we don't know about that stuff. Okay, we were Levi's here. All right, and that's all we'll say about that. Okay, that's the official statement right there. All right, it's Levi Strauss here in America, German genes. All right, But I mean, it's interesting though. It's interesting to think that like these guys are on the same level as us, right? These guys are just as complex with the thought processes as we are. Only they decided they wanted to figure out how to take some of the hardest materials on the planet, some of the heaviest materials on the planet, and like erect these massive three-dimensional megalithic structures out of them. And dot those all across the planet, but not because they were communicating with each other. They didn't talk to each other, right? Just because the pyramids in Mexico and the pyramids in Egypt and the pyramids in Peru and the pyramids in India and in China and in Japan and in all other freaking dots and corners of the world all kind of look similar and have like likeness in their construction and whatnot. I mean, that's just a coincidence. Okay, that's only a coincidence. Okay, like that has nothing to do with the fact that like these guys all also drew freaking pictures of boats. Okay, it has nothing to do with these guys like knowing how to like get onto a piece of wood and like float across it, because literally it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out how to freaking sail. All right. Like, I'm pretty sure if you can take a stick and a leaf and blow on it and go, oh shit, it floats, you can probably put two and two together. I mean, if these guys figured out how to build megalithic construction, right? They figured out how to build pyramids before we did, before they learned how to freaking grow crops, right? So they can do that. I'm sure they can figure out how to put a stick on a sail, or put a piece of loincloth on a tall stick, and then put that stick on a long stick, and then wait for the great gods to blow them across the waters of the firmament or whatever they were believing in. Who knows what they believed in? Like, I mean, it's just like there's so much conjecture. But if you ask me, I think that a lot of that stuff is the exact same story. It doesn't matter where you're going. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. It doesn't matter if it's if it's the freaking the Greeks or the Romans or the Sumerians or the Egyptians or the Babylonians or the Akkadians or the fucking the Celtics, the Anglo-Saxons, the Tartarians, if you want to believe in those or not. Who knows? I mean, that this is how my brain works. It's just interesting. I always find it interesting that conspiracy theories like are so heavily like you can't talk about those. You can't talk about mud floods. You can't talk about the earth being flat. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Like, okay, yes, all right. So what was I supposed to not think it was crazy when you guys were saying that the earth was a ball? Like, okay, like I'm pretty sure at one time you guys were trying to get me to swear up and down the earth was flat. Now you're like, oh, actually it's a ball. Okay, now it's a ball, but pick one. You know what I mean? Pick one. Sometimes I'm not sure if never mind. I'm not going to say that one. I probably should not say that one. I'm not going to say that one. I'll hold that one for later, because that's some real personal stuff there, and I feel like if I talk about some real personal stuff on here, like who knows? I don't know. It's like, do you really need to know about me? I mean, if I'm saying anything, you're just like, this motherfucker's crazy. Look it up. Get your own opinion. These are just my opinions. Okay? I'm just talking about things that I think and how I'm pretty sure I'm running it through my brain. But then again, who knows?
I'm a stupid human, you know. No, I'm an average human, right? Average human, which is interesting. So, like, wasn't there like a bottlenecking in humanity, like at the same time, like at the end of the Younger Dryas, like 12,000 years ago? Okay. The most significant recent findings points to a severe human population bottleneck between 930,000 and 813,000 years ago during early to middle Pleistocene transition. Okay, so the great bottlenecking happened much longer ago than that. So we don't have to worry about that. I just, sometimes I get my times mixed up. So, I gotta fact check myself. You know what I mean? So, no, bottleneck was way before that. So at this point in time, humans definitely would have been able to reamass. Although that time in particular, I don't know. I just don't know how Okay, let's see. No, this is interesting. All right, so I am going to read this out loud. So there's no exact numbers for humans after the Younger Dryas impact, but research suggests significant widespread population declines and cultural shifts, which is interesting. So, 12,000 years ago, they don't know shit. They can't tell you shit about what was going on 12,000 years ago, but they sure as hell can tell you what was going on 913,000 years ago. Okay. See, those type of inconsistencies just can't make them click. So you're telling me that, like, what, how? How wouldn't the destruction, the cataclysmic shifts, the massive freaking seismic activity, the huge torrential waves, you know what I mean? The massive flooding and displacement and huge scarring of the land and all that good stuff, like, make it really difficult for you to see something that was taking place over a million years ago, yet you have very clear information with what was going on 918,000 years ago, excuse me. But 12,000 years ago, very recent, we don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened with that. But we built it. We don't know what happened with it, but we fucking built it. It was ours. It was humans. We built it. Nobody else. Fuck that. It was us. Sure. I mean, I'd love to buy that. I'd love to be like, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. Take my money and go on that expedition and dig out some more dirt and tell me some more shit. But I don't know. I mean, now I'm not good at math. I'll admit that. I'm not I'm not good at math, right? But I'm pretty sure 918,000 years ago, YO, because this is 918 YO.
right? I'm pretty sure that that's a little further back. Just a little further back than 12,000 years ago. So I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around the idea that 12,000 years ago, we know nothing. 13,000 years ago, we know many things. 13,000 years ago. Don't ask us about 1,000 years later. A million years ago? Yeah, sure. What do you want to know? Yeah, we got all that. No, well, I mean, but it makes sense. That stuff was destroyed in the meteor attack. Of course. Of course, that stuff was destroyed in the meteor attack. Because that wouldn't have done anything to, like, compromise anything else. I also find it so funny because, like, fossilization, to get a fossil, to catch one of those fools, the conditions have to be so perfect. They have to be just right. And if they're not just right, there's no fossil. Look at that. Look at how hard it is to fucking actually get a fossil, for the fossilization process to take place. And there's a couple of different methods in order to achieve fossilization, but through the methods in which we're supposed to get our dinosaur bones and our ancient I can't even pronounce the word, archaeological finds, and our anthropological. I pronounced that incorrectly. Yeah, anthropological. Is that how you say it? Am I saying it right? Anthropological. Fuck it. That's how we're saying it now. Anthropological. All right, we'll just change it. It's what we do. Just change it. Who's gonna say anything? Anthropologists? Nobody cares about them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking to all of the people in the field of anthropology. You guys are doing really good work, right? You guys are doing really good work. I know there's a lot of people out there who are, busting their ass trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here and who we are as, like, a people. I'm just commenting on it from my house. Okay, all right. I don't know anything about that. I'm just a commenteer. But it is very interesting to wonder about. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just all these institutions, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the beauty of it. Like, if you don't know that you're brainwashed, how do you know to like protect yourself, to like awaken yourself? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. You're just doing your regular normal thing, and you're not realizing that your regular normal thing is the brainwash programming. This is my brainwash programming. They're like, stay stoned. Stay stoned. Yes, my master. I will stay stoned. I will do as you asked. But honestly, I don't even know what I was talking about half this time. I ramble a lot. Maybe that's what I need to do on this thing. Maybe I just need the chance to just fucking sit here and ramble for a while. You know. I dread a lot. I worry a lot about everything. About everything. And I try to figure out ways to save the world. And well, unfortunately, I'm not a billionaire, so you know I can't go get trained by ninjas. So that one was out. I have crippling depression, so you know, every time I think about the inevitability of how horrible things are, I just get a little bit more sadder inside and kind of go through this cycle of, oh, I guess this is just how it's gonna go, and then I see something else, and I'm like, oh shit, oh, I guess this is just how it's gonna go. Well, I would love to do something to change that, not just in myself, but in the world, because I do believe in that, like that concept of leaving things a little bit better than you found it. And when I guess I didn't find the world right when I came out, right? I was still trying to find myself. And it was in that search that I found the world. Right. And I found out what was wrong with the world. I found out what was really going on in the world. And I think that that's part of it. I think that's part of the game. You ever hear that? People go off to find themselves. And then when they come back, they realize that, they never really need to be found, that they were there the entire time type shit or whatever. I think the whole point of going off to go find yourself is actually to go find the world, to go see the world for real. You know what I mean? To go experience it and go see to understand what's really going on everywhere. And then to do what we do as people, what we're really supposed to do as people, our real purpose as people, Once again, it's just me. It's just what I think. I think our purpose as people is to serve. And not like that. Not like that. You know what I mean? That's where it gets twisted. That's where it gets warped. That's where it gets manipulated. That's where evil is allowed to exist. And that's where you have to be very careful about who you help, right? Got to be very careful about who you're helping. But when I say that we're here to serve, I mean, like, for example, my girlfriend has this amazing mantra, philosophy. I don't know what you want to call it. I guess it's a philosophy. I guess, yeah, I'd call it a philosophy because I fuck with it. It's something you live by. It's a way of life. It's something you live by. It's something that you got to once you understand it, then you're like, oh shit, okay, well, all right, I can do that, right? And That's to get out of the fucking idea of giving and getting handouts, right? You can't see it like that. You can't see it like that, and it can't be perceived like that. You can't give it out like that. So she calls it hand ups, right? They're called hand ups because you're not like when you're handing something out, it's usually because like when I think of handout, like you think of like a pamphlet or like an advertisement or something, like you're handing something out for someone to be like, all right, well then that's give you something back type shit, like an exchange. But no, she calls it a hand up because like you're not doing it to get something back. What you're getting back is to be able to see that person get up on their 2 fucking feet and be able to walk again type shit. I'm giving them a hand up. And I fuck with that. Like deeps, you know what I mean? So, all right. So how can I give the world a hand up? I don't know. I mean, I figured I would try to do some podcasts and talk and get in the swing of just saying shit how it really is. But I'm not good at it. I'm not a big talker person. You know what I mean? I'm not big on talking. And anybody who knows me knows that I don't do that all the time. I'm more of a sit back and watch. But when I do talk, it's because I give a shit, right? So, this right here is very new to me. This is very, 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 very new to me. See, you're watching this and you're thinking like, damn, why the fuck are you talking to me like this? Like, this guy is just so rude. And you have to understand, I don't think that I'm talking to anybody. I'm pretty sure that I'm not pretty sure. I know right now in my brain the way it's translating it, even though there's a camera right there looking at me, and then I'm looking at myself on the screen, look back at me at the camera through the laptop. You know what I mean? I think I'm talking to myself. You know what I mean? I know that there's people watching. I know that they hear me. I know that they see me, but my brain just don't know how to register that. You know what I mean? But I'm getting there. You know what I mean? I'm getting there. I'm getting comfortable with it. I'm getting relaxed with it. I'm talking to you, babe. I'm getting relaxed with it. I'm getting comfortable. I drank most of my cup. So I'm feeling better, yes. But yeah, so I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to give the hand up. Trying to help y'all out. Maybe this can be an outlet for people who probably kind of feel like, oh, what the fuck is going on with bullshit, or maybe like, I don't know. I mean, but I'm not a social person. I'm not a social butterfly. I go to a party and I don't talk to anybody. I go to a party and have a mental breakdown because this motherfucker is giving me stupid looks and I'm getting asked too many personal questions. You know what I mean? Like, why are you asking me about my mental health in front of all these people right now on New Year's type thing? All right, but sure. But things, I'm not good at talking, obviously, so this is new. I already said that. That shows you how fresh it is on the platter, but I'm gonna get more into the swing of it, Maybe we can get more comfortable with each other. Maybe I can, be more comfortable talking about some shit about myself and, probably not. But, we'll sit here and we'll talk about, conspiracy theories and shit. Rip the bong. The dogs, Now, my dog's on restriction right now. He's only allowed on this bed when I'm doing my streams, and normally, like I almost didn't let him come up onto this bed for like the next like 2 weeks. I was gonna do like these next 14 videos and not have him up in it just because of that dumb stuff he did yesterday. But I figured, no, I'm gonna take this opportunity to get his spatial awareness in place. So, for any of you dog, lovers out there, he is a mixed breed. We're pretty sure we're definitely sure he's half lab. We weren't sure on the other part, but based off of his eyes and his fur coat and how how his fur is handling, pretty sure he's lab and husky, but he's definitely smart enough to be both. And it's the rude, it's the way he doesn't bark, but he like type things. You know what I mean? Like he does this husky thing. It's very husky of him for being a lab. He looks like a lab, but I don't know. This that boy right there. Yeah, he's living it up on this couch bed right here right now because he knows he's in deep shit. But yeah, I know. It is getting near and rare in time for him to be getting to his supper. I did a little bit longer of a stream tonight because, of course, once again, I had audio issues, but I'm new. All right, so step off. All right, chill out. We're figuring it out. We're getting to it. All right. Eventually, I'll probably figure out how to do those cool little animations and stuff. But see, that's the thing. I figured I'd do live streams. And the reason why I figured I would do live streams over like videos, who knows? Maybe I will do videos. Maybe I'll make some videos and like have them edited and stuff like that. So that way they're a little bit cleaner. Maybe I'll try doing a video during a different time of day, seeing how that works. Cause I know it's kind of dark in here, but you know, I kind of like it. I like the vibe. I like chilling like this, but it does cut into the time I get with my lady and whatnot. So that's something that I definitely want to be sure to keep in consideration because we're playing Fallout right now, and by we I mean she and not me because me is doing the podcast, and not that I don't want to be doing the podcast. I mean, I've been sitting here for 2 hours rambling almost, but well, I mean, I'm gonna say an hour and a half. I'm gonna give those 33 minutes to that freaking microphone debacle because I mean that was my fault. Now you know. Now I know that there's a mute button on there, and we've got that mute button not clicked. So it's definitely gonna be you know, I see the little green dot. That's all I need to worry about. Every time this first thing I look for and I click it, I'm like, is the green dot there? I'm like, all right, green dot's there. You guys can hear me. I'm probably way too loud. I don't care. That's kind of how I do it. I mean, it's the I have the it's this blue Yeti uh blue Yeti microphone. I have the gain turned all the way down. I have the volume set, just a little bit high. Probably too high. I don't know which way the volume is. I don't know. I mean, I can barely hear myself in the headphones, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling. I do a lot of rambling, do a lot of riffing. Um yeah.
I feel like I said. I feel like I said enough. I think my dog's trying to give me a hint. You know, he's up and hopped off the Oh, I don't even think you guys can see that. I don't know what's going on with this thing. So lately, oh, this thing gets finicky. I see. Oh, okay. I see. I see. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Noted. Cool. Um, yeah. This boy though, he's getting ready to. I don't know. What you need to do? What you need? Hmm. Come here, boo. This is Anki. I got like 80 million nicknames for him, but his name is Anki, like Anki in Leo. And I named my dog after a Sumerian god. But, you know, he's one of a kind. Yeah. So, yeah, clearly not a lot of structure, very, very loose, very lax. You know, I haven't, you know, these are just the preliminaries, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's going to take me a couple of weeks before I even get into the swing of how to fucking do this stuff, you know what I mean? I have to, like, learn how to watch my language, maybe. I don't know. It's hard, all right? I got a filter issue, all right? I am dealing with I deal with enough shit in order to not have to sit here and be worried about what's coming out of my mouth every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? It's just where I'm from. That's just part of the lingo. You know, if you know, you know. But yeah, we're gonna slide up out of here. This dog is stretching. What? What do you want? I know you want something. I know you want something. You know what he wants? He wants to get in that bed. He's been trying to get in that bed nonstop. Like every once in a while he'll like try to hop up in there and I like block him out. Nope, because we got these new fancy, really soft blankets and sheet spreads. Super, super soft, super comfortable. Oh my god, I've been thinking about this whole time. And he's not getting up in it. He sheds too much. You know, you can hear it in my sinuses. I'm all like nasally because he's got all this hair. I say with a bushel of beard. But yeah, he's got a lot of hair. So got to brush him out. But yeah, we ain't letting him in that bed. He ain't getting in that bed. Yeah, he's looking at me like, why are you talking to me? Why are you talking about me? Do you want to get up on that camera? See if I can do it without fucking him up. Look at that booth. Anki. Look at him. Yeah, that's him right there. He's a good one. Whoever, all right, so whoever gave him up and said those things that you said about this dog, I get it. He was adorable as a puppy, and you loved holding him in your lap, and you loved doing all the cute little puppy things with him. And then when he got into a huge ass behilgamoof,
you're like, oh, he's not as cute anymore. He's not as cute. But those eyes, maybe we could try. But he's too wild and I don't know how to handle him. So I'm just going to take him to a shelter. And then I don't know who the second people were, but whatever you guys did to him, like, Jesus, Christos, my. Turned this booth into a wild one. Yes, they did, didn't they? They turned you to a wild old booth, didn't they? Kids just don't know any better. But, you know, it's like Caesar Malone says, you can't argue with it, you can't reason with it, you just dominate it. But you don't have to dominate it, you just gotta learn the dog. You just gotta learn the dog. And this dog right here, look at him. He's already trying. I gave him like a little couple of pats and look at him. He's already getting hyped up. He's already trying to get extra. Because if I slow down, look at him. Now he's trying to do his stretches. He's trying to repeat whatever it was that he just did that got me scratching on him like that. And that's all dogs know. That's all they know. So chill out. Sit down. Go ahead, take a seat. There you go. Go ahead with your bad self. Go on, get up there. There you go. Lay down. Good boy. Put that butt down. Anki. Put that butt down. Lay. See? This is what I'm talking about. On the string, too. On the string, too. Come on, boy. Let's go. We're not there yet. But we're getting there. He was close. He just had to show his ass right there at the end. All right. Take it easy. See you guys tomorrow. Later.